YouTube. Yeah, so yesterday I was playing with the wee Donner, oh god, I forgot the name, DA10 amp. I get a wee bit mixed up with the values, didn't mixed up, I didn't look them up properly. So on Amazon this is currently 47 quid, £46. And you can get the Blackstar Fly only in neon pink. The RRP on it's 60, but they've got it for 55, so it's only 8 quid more than that one in neon pink, which to be honest I would have anyway over a black one. But so they're a bit closer than I thought. So which one's better? I was playing through both of these rather than try and get them both to sound the same. I played through one of them for half an hour and then played through the other one for half an hour. Just I'd set them up the way I would have done it when I messed about with my telly, which I've now worked out as in tune. Yeah, so I was looking up wee cheapy amps, not wee cheapy amps, battery powered amps. This is the orange one I was talking about. Oh, you can't see because I've not turned the light on. But I'll turn that light on, you might be able to see it. Come on. Hey, yeah, and you'll recognise this as the wee Marshall one you can buy, the wee single one, which is about 25 quid. Something like that. Is basically, it's the same circuit, it's the same amp in a different container. Same with one you can buy, which looks very similar. This one has a 4-position pot here, but you've got like a volume, a tone, and an off-on overdrive. But I think for some reason at this point you maybe couldn't get 3-way switches, so it's got off, on, overdrive, off. Whereas the more modern ones only have the 3 positions. This is one that's got a clip in the back, which is actually the current ones have as well, and they seem to be vented as well. Basically, you can buy this exact amp. This is like, I don't know, this must be 30 years old or something like that, so it's really old technology. Runs on a 9-volt battery. I actually use this. I'll plug it in. If I plug it in, you can hear what sort of things, what this sounds like. This is kind of, put it into the input, not the headphone socket. Yeah, so that's it on clean, so it doesn't do much. Actually, to be honest, it doesn't sound bad at all, does it? But it's got an overdrive, which basically makes it much, much louder, and so this, if you're talking about going camping or something like that, this is well loud enough. It does have a tone on it. Back to clean. That's it, that's it, full bung on clean. So, I mean, if you're talking about having a wee amp for, probably not busking, but just for making noise somewhere, these things are good. I think the cheapest one I saw, the equivalent, it wasn't this make, this is a Dean Markley, and it's been painted orange at some point, but I think about under 20 quid, I think round about 20 quid, and yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm keeping that one. I like that. I've got a wee bass, which I like playing through that with that overdrive thing on it. Just basically makes fuzz bass. You can't get clean, as far as I'm aware, can't really get clean bass on an amp that size. So fuzz bass it was. So if we go on to the Donner, it's an awful lot more amplifier soundy than what the wee thing is. So sort of 20 quid, 45 quid or 47, whatever it was it came out at. turn on the blackstar instead. It's quite thin sounding. What this one does have is, this has got a delay on it. So I can actually, if I put a wee bit of delay on it, you can make the amp sound a little bit bigger, sort of reverby, with delay on it, so you get a wee bit more out of it. If I try this, it's actually got a clean channel. So again, this is me trying to get a bit more volume out of it on clean. Which, to be honest, is loud enough for my stated at the volume your telly's normally at. Game back on. What I have to say is that compared to the wee tiny amp, this one there's not a huge variation in sounds from when you change pickups on the guitar on the wee amp, whereas this one it does a definite. It does sound like a Telecaster, and it does sound different when you're on different pickups. Turn off the delay. I've got a switcher that switches between the two. Annoyingly, that's it buzzes. I think I maybe got that pedal wired up wrong. And that's just at the volume I would have it at. It's basically at the gain's at about half and the master's at just over half. So it's not up full bung. I'm still trying to get some tone out of it. Clean. I'll up the volume, see how it's cleanish. Better with distortion on it. Going for differences now, this one does actually have a 3-band EQ, so you get gain, treble, middle, bass. Going the wrong way. I was thinking it should be bass first, but not all amps go that way. And then a master volume and a distortion. So there's more tone sculptableness in there than there is in the Blackstar, which is all it's got is an EQ called ISF. Which kind of seems to be messing with the mid somewhere. That sounds a bit more scoopy. That's a bit more midi. But it's guy trebly, has to be said. See, switching between the two there, I'd actually almost argue this one actually might even sound better. It sounds bigger, and it is significantly smaller. But the gain it fully. Well, the gain doesn't really seem to do very much, eh? It does a bit. Let's pick up. Blackstar. Get it full. So, as usual, completely inconclusive. I just thought that, I assumed it would be an awful lot cheaper than this. The Donner one would be a lot cheaper than the Blackstar, and really it's not really, it's like a tenner or something. So, you know, if you're paying 50 quid or 60 quid, it's really a choice. It's not like, one of them is not miles better. I think it might, I think it counts for something, the fact that it's smaller. I mean, they've both got advantages over each other. This one is like a well-known thing, especially the fact if you're buying that one that's neon pink. That's pretty cool. So, advantages, it's a Blackstar. It's slightly bigger, so it maybe, it doesn't really weigh that much more, actually. So I think maybe this one goes clean a little bit louder. Having the delay, although I don't really use delay myself very much, it is quite good. I assume the reason it's got delay in it is because it's quite a cheap circuit put in. And if you use delay in a certain way, you can make it sound a bit like reverb by keeping it like a slow thing. I mean, it makes the amp sound a little bit bigger than it is. You can sort of fake a slightly bigger amp. Both of these, to be honest, sound bigger than they are. When you're looking at them, you go, it's all coming out of that wee thing. But this one is probably pocketable. This probably isn't. Just by being 1.5 times the size. This also takes AA batteries, and if you want a power supply with it, you have to pay an extra. I can't remember what it was. I seem to remember it being 20 quid. It was probably more than a tenner anyway, just for the special power supply to run this. Whereas this one comes with a wee USB charger thing, so it's got internal batteries, which is a very useful thing. Both of them do have like auxiliary inputs, so you could run you stick your phone in it and use it as a stereo, well, a mono. This does have 2 speakers, but I doubt it's stereo. Interesting. Not that it would make any difference if it really was stereo with something that size, but it might be. I don't know. I was expecting this to have, see the delay on this, on the ID core, which are the ones, the Blackstar model between that one and that one, the sort of small modelling amp. has effects on it, and they somehow, it's stereo, and it does that thing that surround sound TVs can do, where it fools you into sounding surround sound, but using this. There's a technical way of doing it, something to do with adding a wee bit of delay in it and stuff like that. I kind of expected this to have it in it. It seems like a wee bit of a wasted opportunity, because if you put the things similar to the reverb or the chorus that's in the ID core, this would sound big, because the ID core's like, you know, I don't know, maybe about that size perhaps, but it sounds that size. When you look at it and it's playing, you're looking at it and you can hear a big amp, but you've only got a wee amp. It's got a spookiness to it. I was going to try and get the two amps to sound similar to each other, and that's where it kind of comes. I kind of gave up doing that, but there's a chance of doing it with this because you've got a 3-band EQ, whereas this one, no, that the sound you've got, there is the EQ on it does do something, but it doesn't do an awful lot if you're after something specific. Whereas this, you've got a 3-band EQ. It's not. It seems to be quite effective at its extremes. But when you're doing something this size, you're kind of, instead of trying to make a good sound, you're trying to make a less bad sound. That sounds like a bit of a down thing to say, but you know what I mean? It's like you're not really trying to get, you're just trying to make it sound more like a full size amp. So I mean, if it came down to it, this does have the Donner thing on it, which is I can't mention Donner and not mention kebabs. So it's got that on it, and it's, if you're size does matter, and for playing outside along, you know, down by the river, you know, where you're sitting, it's like either of them are totally fine. They both go well loud enough. Even the wee orange thing, this thing, it goes loud enough to be annoying. When you've got 6 drunk folks singing and you're battering out this, they can all do that. This one's probably just as good, really, for that, because although there is virtually, it's got one sound, and that's that distorted thing, it's actually not a bad sound, which you can use, whereas these have a little bit more variance in them. So it would depend what it was I was using it for. If you're looking for an amp for in the house as your only amp, I probably wouldn't bother with something like that as your only amp. Really, you know, fine for if you're out performing, playing in the boat or something. Yeah, brilliant, and it's half the price. So buy yourself a beat up guitar off Gumtree, fix it up, bang, you're set to go. But again, it comes down to if there's a tenner in it. To be honest, I would probably be swayed by I'd probably pay an extra tenner and buy the Blackstar, just because it's got the brand name on it, doesn't it? Yeah, being the Marshall snob, it's like, I want a Marshall amp. It's like, I understand that. I think it's just a wee bit of technology bump on. I wonder I think there might actually be a more modern version of the Fly, like a slightly bigger. Is there a Fly Pro or something like that? Might be. I think it'll be more expensive, obviously. But it's not miles away, and in some ways I think this one might actually sound better. I just wish there was a bit less price difference in it, a bit more of a price difference. I wish that had been £35, and then it would win, but it's not. It's 45, and this is only 50, just over 50. So they're kind of getting close. Although I do really like the. No, is that a good thing? I suppose you could run it off a power brick or something. It says that it'll run for 4 hours on a charge with its internal battery, whereas this just runs on little AA batteries, so you just have to take batteries with you. So if you're away camping or something like that, you just take another packet of batteries, and then when it runs out you just put more on, whereas this one might go flat, I suppose. I think I've got that up slightly too loud for it. Once you get up loud, they start to lose a little bit of the definition. It's nice having the EQ though. because I have a tendency to think that really it's got a bit more balls. Very thin, isn't it? Very light, very high pitched. Unless, of course, you're having a jam with your pal who owned one of these two, in which case I would probably be tempted just to buy the other one. So if your jam partner, the person you're jamming with, has the Blackstar, I would probably buy the Donner. That, again, it's like probably... I think there is enough difference in size. I think that would fit in your gig bag, whereas this probably won't fit in your gig bag. Which, you know... Let's be practical about it. That does make a difference if you're taking your guitar with you, and you've just got it's just in your gig bag. But obviously that wee orange one fits in the gig bag. That is a practical thing to consider. It's like, oh, I've got my guitar. There we go. Where's the amps in the bag? Well, hey, whereas if you're having to take another bag with an amp in it, so it's not. All my comparison things are always rubbishy. To try and I can never decide exactly. They're both good. I would have either of them. I just think the price difference makes it that bit annoying when it becomes, you know, if they were £20 different, it'd be like the cheaper one's better, but it's not. They're only like £8, and it's like, for that, it's like, well, yeah. Yeah, so that was completely inconclusive. I just wanted an excuse to play my guitar. And again, both of these I was playing them both for more than half an hour yesterday, and it's like, once you've been playing it for a while, you start getting used to it, and it's like, you can get some good sounds out of it, and they both sound amazing for what they are. I'm maybe not quite as amazed as I was with this when I first heard it, because this, it was like, wow! And from my experience, all wee tiny amps just sound like that one does, but it's just, you got sort of it's got a sound, but not a particularly good one. Whereas these have actually got like an actual sound. I think this one, the Donner, probably sounds more like a normal amp. This is a very, very high, a lot of high frequencies going on, which you just get used to after 5 minutes. But just totally inconclusive. Anyway, rock on. I'd just buy either one, whatever one you see. But again, it's like I've not even set up that. I need to get strings. That one came with a guitar, and it was like a really cheap deal for getting a guitar and an amp for £100. I think the guy said he paid, and that came with, like, you know, gig bags and stuff like that as well. So it's like, when you're that sort of thing, I would definitely pay. It depends on if you're buying a Donner guitar, you might be able to get a deal with the amp where you're only paying an extra £20 for it. For that, it's a total no-brainer. Just when it comes to 45, you start going, 45 £45 coming, you're getting up to the range of, I've got amps that I use all the time that a class has been pretty much pro level for that sort of money, second hand and beat up obviously, but that's what kind of what ended up paying for the Marshall, but that's no use for taking it into someone's house and playing the guitar through, or having it in your pocket, or playing it in the car, or playing it in the boat. It doesn't do it. But I think, well, again, I'm just reiterating the same thing again. If it's just for going outside, the wee cheapy one's great for, sitting about drunk, blast out a guitar, someone's got an acoustic, you know what I mean? Yeah, perfect. In the house though, with your only amp, these do that as well, obviously, but in the house, if it's your only amp and you're actually trying to learn the guitar or trying to work something out, it's nicer to have a decent sound. And again, being very impressed with how different guitars sound different through even a wee amp like that. I was playing the Roadster yesterday, and it was like I was trying to get both the amps, which I should probably have done in this video, but I didn't. Using like the humbucker and the bridge, and then using like position 4, so it's kind of going, can I get a sound set up in these where I can flip to the sort of Fendery clean sound and get sort of clean, but without touching the amp, go to the humbucker and get it sort of a bit more driven. And they were both differently good at it. This one, the Blackstar definitely took the clean a little bit better than what the Donner did. But what do you need clean for? Rock on, a crap video.